Diciembre 13, tenemos una cartelera en Orlando de Most Valuable Promotion con Boxeador Promotion. Antonio Vargas, hablamos con él hace como un año atrás y lo tenemos nuevamente en el canal. Se supone que esta conversación sería ya con la correa de campeón del mundo, pero todavía no ha llegado, pero viene por ahí. Hoy estamos con Antonio Vargas. Vamos a pasar a hablar inglés con Antonio. Así que nada, si no eres parte del Calenton Sports, te invito a que nos sigan en todas nuestras redes sociales como el Calenton Sports. Si te gusta este video, dale like, suscríbete al canal de YouTube y como les dije, síganos en todas nuestras redes de Calenton Sports. Antonio, welcome back to the Calenton Sport. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Same thing I was saying in Spanish. The last time we did this, it was like around a year ago. I was telling our fans that this conversation should have been you with your belt as a world champion. It's not there yet, but it's gonna be here soon, right?
Yep.
Last time we talked, you had after we talked, you had 2 fights. First was in the Amanda Serrano history fight that she did with the 12 round, 3 minutes. That was in that card, and then after that you fought in the Berlanga's card, right?
Yeah.
When you that fight over there was with Puerto Rican Jonathan Rodriguez. That fight was for the title eliminator, right?
Yeah.
Through your mind, through camp, and everything before this fight on December 13th. Like everything, how's camp, how's life, how you doing right now?
You know, this camp, it was a good training camp. You know, I did everything I had to do for this training camp. I feel strong, I feel ready for December 13th. And like you were saying earlier, I was supposed to fight for the world title this year, but the guy that I was supposed to fight, I was mandatory, he didn't want to fight me.
Okay.
So we had to do this fight for the interim to rank me up higher. So if the guy didn't want to fight me, they were going to strip him of his belt.
Okay.
So that's what happened with that. But you know, everything else, you know, is God, you know, God's timing, God's hands. So I'm just do what I got to do for this fight, make sure I get the victory, and you know, go chase after that world title.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about like you being number 1 and that you were supposed to fight for the world title, but I'm gonna go to that later on. But first, I want to go back to that fight when I was talking. I was saying about the Jonathan Rodriguez fight.
Yeah.
We talk after the fight, and I talked to your team too. But it was an exciting fight. Tell me, I want to go the first round. Obviously, it was you were it was a total domination by you all the way until the end that you got cut and got dropped. Guide me through it. Guide me through that last 10 seconds of that round.
Yeah, like you said, the first round, I didn't realize how slow he was. And basically anything I wanted to throw, I was able to land it, and it was an easy first round. The problem was I got overconfident. I remember the last 10 seconds of the round, once I heard the bell, in my mind, I'm like, hey, this was an easy round. Let me walk back to my corner. And that was my first mistake. I got overconfident. And I remember specifically thinking in my mind, let me put my hand down, because he can't touch me, I'm out of range. And that was a mistake that I made, and I paid for it. He caught me clean. And when I got up from the knockdown, I was smiling because I'm like, man, I just gave him a knockdown.
Yeah.
And for that guy, I trained keeping my left hand up because his main punch was his overhand right.
Yeah.
So that was the number one thing we trained. Hey, make sure you keep that left hand up. Don't keep it down because he has a good overhand. And that was the first thing that went through my mind when I got up. I'm like, man, this is what I trained for. And he knocked me down. I gave it to him. And You know, it was the last 2 seconds of the round, so I'm like, man, you know, I got to get this back.
Yeah, so like basically you were training for it. You knew it probably was gonna come to you.
Yeah.
But it was like almost at the end of the round. You probably think like that's not gonna happen at least in this round, and then you got cut by it. But like I was there, and I know. I mean, I didn't see like in any moment that you were hurt.
Yeah.
You just basically got you, and then you just got down, and then just got up right away. You got dropped in the first round. Mm-hmm. You got back. And obviously, I didn't see you hurt, but then he gets dropped. But then it's like not a misunderstanding for you guys that are there, but for the fans maybe. A point was deducted from you because apparently you hit him when he was already like down. So got me through that of what happened there, like in the ring, because we are as fans looking from the outside, so we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, the confusion was because they took the point the next round. Usually, you know, when something like that happens, you take the point right then and there.
Okay.
But you can kind of see the ref. You know, it wasn't I didn't do it with a bad intention. Like I wasn't trying to hit him when he was low. It was kind of like just in the heat of the moment. But from our perspective, when I seen him like go down, I didn't see him take a knee. I thought he was falling forward, so I was trying to pick him up with the uppercut. And like I said, I didn't see his knee. I could only kind of see like from like the chest up because we're at a close range.
Yeah.
And like I said, they didn't take the point that round, but I guess I don't know what happened, but they took it going into that third round. So that's what happened with that.
Maybe obviously going like forward with that fight, the domination kept going, and then you ended up stopping him. Mm-hmm. You won that fight. That was the title eliminator. It was in that zone. It was in Matchroom Boxing. So it was like a big event. Everyone saw you there. I know you were. I was just telling before. You have been in this scenario before. Mm-hmm. Even the fight before that one, you were in Amanda Serrano's card. So, but obviously that's not something new for you. Like that scenario, people watching you around the world. Mm-hmm. But how this one felt different from the other ones, because you knew you won the title eliminator. It was a fight that people were saying that it was like a 50-50. I never thought about it, but that's where they were talking.
Yeah.
So you won that fight. I know that you mentioned me before that you're not gonna be satisfied until you actually get your belt. But still, in that moment, you won the title eliminator. In your head, I'm guessing that you're thinking, okay, let's go. We're going for it. Yeah. So tell me, guide me through that victory and when they made it official that you won that fight.
So after that fight, after that win, I was scheduled to fight for the WBA world title belt in Japan.
Yeah.
My promoter, Boxeador Promotion, had spoken with I think it's Taiken Promotions.
Okay.
And after this fight was scheduled, you're ranked 1 to fight for the WBA. You're the number 1 contender. So they had said, yeah, we're going to fight, and it never happened. So when the Japanese champion that I was supposed to fight, they gave him another opponent, and it caught my promoter by surprise, because they're like, yo, like you just told us that, we're mandatory, you're going to make the fight happen, and then they basically, they're trying to avoid me. So we found out that they didn't want to fight me at all, and the plan was for them to avoid me as long as they could. So that's why we took this fight right here. It's the interim belt to rank me up higher. So if the guy still didn't want to fight, they're going to strip him of his belt. So I was ready to fight for the world title this year, and it didn't happen because the guy didn't want to fight me.
But that guy you're talking about, he lost his belt.
Yeah, he lost his belt.
So it's funny because so since it was in Japan, it was like early morning here, and I text your team saying like, hey, this guy just lost. Like, what happened? Yeah. And I mean, again, like here we can say, and then we know that we're trying to avoid you. Yeah. But I got a question that maybe. Probably it's what actually happened there. But besides the fighter you are, they know the fighter you are. Do you think like maybe why exactly you think they were trying to avoid you? Like, do you think it was just because they know they're probably gonna lose, or because, for example, the what I'm trying to walk you through is like maybe they're saying, and like nowadays people talk about social media and how you promote yourself, and do you think that part of like maybe people know who you are because you were Olympian and maybe in the U.S., but like maybe worldwide they don't know you, or what do you think they avoid you?
They knew they were gonna lose. That's
just basically.
No, yeah, because what they did was they offered me another fight to fight for the WBC.
Okay.
And same in Japan as well. And he's a taller guy, southpaw. And I told my promoter, I'll fight him too. I just want to fight for a belt.
Yeah. So it was for the world title too?
Yeah, it's for the WBC.
Okay.
But I said, I'm scheduled for the WBA, so I was supposed to fight this guy. His name was Anu.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to fight him 2 fights ago, but we found he was avoiding me because their promoter wanted to keep they got all 4 belts in Japan right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, hey man, like they knew that like, he wasn't gonna beat me. So they figured, hey, he's mandatory to fight for the WBA, but our guys don't have a good chance. So let us try to fight for the WBC, which is I think his name is Nakatami. So they figured he had a better chance of beating me, so that's why they offered me that fight for the WBC over there in Japan.
Okay.
And I told my promoter, hey, I'll fight him too. And my promoter like, nah, man, we're scheduled for the WBA. Let's fight him first, and then once we beat him, then we'll fight for the WBC and take that belt too. So he just scared. He didn't want to fight. They knew they were gonna lose. That's what it was.
Okay. And so going to this fight, as you were mentioning before, you're fighting for the interim, and basically it's just he's not there anymore. He's a new guy.
New guy, yeah.
But still, same purpose. You want that title, and then with this, it's probably gonna be the same thing. You don't want to fight this guy, then obviously he just won that belt. I'm not 100%. Maybe you know better of like how it goes. Like I think he can like go and do his first defense with whoever. I'm not sure how it works. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more. But with this interim world title, this belt interim, the WBA, it makes it a little bit harder for them to say no.
Yeah. Yep.
So Winston Guerrero, that's gonna be who you gonna fight on December 13. He's undefeated, 22 victories, 13 KOs. I don't like to talk about the opponent, but like usually what do you do? Like your team watch him, or do you watch some tapes from your opponent, or how you usually work in camp?
Yeah, we study the guy. I watch his fight. My coaches watch all his fights, and we look at their strengths and we look at their weaknesses. So the guy, he likes to come forward. He's a slugger. He's comfortable coming forward. Likes to throw punches. Work body. So he seems like he's a tough guy. And that's kind of what we're expecting for him to come forward, and just just kind of just go from there. I've seen all different styles, so the best thing is just adapt to any style. So once I get in the ring with him, I kind of know, because we train to fight and we train to box. So whatever we got to do in the fight, just make the adjustments and just go from there.
So one more time, you're gonna be in Orlando in the Caribe Royale, but this time you're gonna be the main event in the most valuable promotion in association with BoxLab. Again, I expect your fans and a huge crowd over there as always. Again, one more time, DAZN boxing. I mean, DAZN is gonna be worldwide. But obviously, winning this, you're gonna get the WBA interim. But how? I know this question is stupid. Like, I don't want to ask you how bad you want it, because I know how bad you want it. But like, what you're trying to demonstrate that day, not just winning the WBA interim, but sending a message to the world title holder and the other organisms, right? That there are world titles too, world title holders. So what kind of message you're trying to send on December 13th?
The message is, no matter how much you run, I'm gonna take what belongs to me. That WBA, it should have been mine a long time ago. You know, so I got this guy in front of me to get past, but once I get past this guy, that WBA, that's gonna be the first belt that I fight for. And you know, said that they can't run any longer. So I'm gonna take what I've been working hard. I trained my whole life for this, and once I get that belt, that's just the beginning. I go after the rest of the belts, and I gotta go to Japan each and every time to do it. I'll do what I gotta do.
I was gonna tell you that no matter what, you're going to Japan because they are the title holders. But obviously, we talked in the first interview how bad you wanted to be undisputed in your weight class. Mm-hmm. But the first thing first, you gotta go get the WBA interim first. That's how. That's like, as we talked before, that's how maybe God wanted you to go through. But I'm sure that you're gonna get that WBA interim on December 13, and then after that, everything is gonna be, as you were saying, just get that belt. And once you got that belt, it's gonna be harder for the other to run because now you're the champion. I want you to send a message to your fans, your family, everyone supporting you, and like boxing fans that are gonna show up on December 13th.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody, man. It's an honor to fight in my hometown. I grew up here in Kissimmee, Florida. You know, I'll be fighting at the Caribbean Royal Resort. So I just thank everybody that supports me since I was a little kid. You know, I moved to Florida when I was 12. So this is my home base. So it really means a lot to me that I get to fight and give a good fight to my fans. And one thing that people know about me is like when you see me fight, it's never going to be a boring fight. Exciting. So I just thankful for my fans, that everybody that believes in me and supports me.
Okay, so one more time, thank you for the opportunity to interview you again. I hope next time it's gonna be for the belt, and then one day we're gonna be sitting down here with all the belts as your dream for.
Amen.
I want to thank your team, and again, I'm gonna be there as always. So. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
But the first thing, obviously, that you come up with health, and then after that, then go get them, boy. So be a world champion, and hope to see you again in this channel. And then I'm just gonna go back to Spanish so I can end this. Gracias una vez más al Calenton Sport. Estuvimos aquí con Antonio Vargas, el próximo campeón mundial de la WBA 118 libras. Así que si todavía no sigue a Antonio Vargas, síguelo en en Instagram. What are your social media? Antonio Vargas in Instagram. What else?
Yeah, it's same thing as Facebook. Antonio Vargas, my two main sources of social media.
Okay, so vayan y lo sigan en Antonio Vargas en Instagram. Síganos a nosotros en todas las redes como el Calenton Sports. Y si les gustó este video, dale like, compártelo, suscríbete al canal y esperen más del Calenton Sport.